Hey guys, now in today's video we're taking a look at the BOOX Go6, and this is one of the smallest e-readers with the front light display that we've had on the channel. It's packed with power. It is something that you can use at night or in direct sunlight. So if you love to read and you'd like to have your full library with you, but also have access to Gmail and maybe even your calendar too, you'll want to check this out. Let's get right to it. Now the BOOX Go6 has great specs. We're talking about a 10-hour battery life, e-ink display leveraging Carta 1300, Android based, which is one of the things I really love about this line. It also has a front light display, which means that at night you'll be able to see your content. It'll illuminate and you'll be able to see things. It features an octa-core CPU, 2 gigabytes of memory, which makes it really fast and snappy, 32 gigabytes of storage for all your books, and we're talking a lot of them. Android 11 has a dark mode, a micro SD to expand if you'd like, and it has a 1500 milliamp hour battery. So it has a lot of storage capacity and battery life. In addition to that, this guy is slim. Check this out. This is 6.8 millimeters thin and supports over 256 book formats. Let's go and check it out. Now, in addition to the e-reader, you're going to have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, so it's pretty straightforward. I actually have this little book cover, which I really like because, again, it's magnetic. It locks into place, gives you really nice amount of protection, and then also has a little sleep function because you notice that the little rabbit went to sleep. Now, from an e-reader perspective, this is super pocketable and it's going to give you a lot of functionality. So as you can see here, you do have some navigational controls where you can go back and forth and look at books, right? You also then have an app store, which is going to give you the ability to see, for example, Gmail. You have Chrome here, and you have other Android solutions that you can download. It does have a mic, so you'll be able to speak to it if you want to be able to, for example, use voice as dictation. You'll also notice that it has an AI assistant, and if I tap on the AI assistant, it's more of like a ChatGPT AI assistant where you're asking it questions and then it's answering the questions based on what you ask it for. It also then has Wi-Fi connectivity, and you can see that it has your battery icon there. So it has great battery life. It's very gesture-based, and it has this global control over here on the side. So as you tap this, you'll be able to go back, you'll be able to move forward. The flashing that you see is how e-readers work. It's basically a state of it being on or off as it's displaying ink. And as it's flashing, it's just basically churning on and off the pixels for you to see this display. From a book reading perspective, this is what this is all about. If I go here, what you'll see is here's a book. I'm looking at Huckleberry Finn. I can swipe through it. I can see some pictures in grayscale. And this is going to give me a really, I would say, distraction-free experience. But what I like about it, too, is that if I chose to, I could actually go out of this, and I wanted to go into Chrome. And let me go ahead and go into my apps. I can go ahead and choose Chrome, which is right here, and I can actually get into and start browsing the internet if I'm looking for something specific. And, I was at my YouTube channel here, just so that you can see here's the YouTube channel where I can actually see everything that's going on. And then I could also not really watch, but it's cool that you can attempt to see something. So clearly this is more about consuming content and reading, and you can see how nice the display is. If I were to swipe down here, I'm going to increase the brightness, and you can see how it starts to lighten up. This is going to give you the ability to use this at night, right? And then if I bring this all the way down, it's going to be off. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the first page. You'll notice we have our library, you have your store for books, you also have storage. And the cool thing about storage is not limited just to what's on memory and what's in this SD card, but you can also connect this. If I go back to, let's say, my library and watch this for a second, and I choose cloud, this thing has virtually every cloud solution out there. That's pretty neat. So you have all that connectivity. You have your App Store, which is going to be the Google Play Store. And I love the fact that it's Android. It's not a closed system where they prevent you from downloading things. It's Android, and it's the Android marketplace. I like that too. And then what you also then have is your settings. So there's a lot of different things that you can have access to here. And really, it's about having a pocketable reader that you can take with you. Again, if you go back to this, not only do you have, which I'll highlight as well, is also part of the apps. Even though we've already taken a look at some of the navigation with the books, if, for example, I wanted to go ahead and use a calendar, you notice that there are some functions here. I can have access to a calculator, right? And then I could go back if I'd like to. I'm using the actual nav button for that. You also then have some calendar functions, right? So you can look at calendars and then also have memos associated with it. And this is me just scribbling with my finger, right? Just putting in some text there, right? And again, the actual App Store will break down the different type of apps based on category that you may be interested in. Really, really giving you a lot of capabilities when it comes to having something on the go. So this is definitely a product that if you love to read, want to be able to do it in direct sunlight or at nighttime, low power consumption and low distraction, this is the way to go. Now guys, this is the power of this display and the size of this reader. So right now we're outside, it's bright, and you can see how easy it is to read and to just absorb the content that we have here on this display. Super easy, right? Very simple. If we were to go home, so if you want to see what that the other pages look like, let's get out of this for a second. You know, here we have once again the library, our store, storage, apps, and once again, that's it. So that wraps up our video. See you in the next one.